Good evening. Looks like it's about 7 o'clock, so I'd like to get the Plan Commission meeting for March 25th of 2013 started. I'd ask the clerk to call the roll.
Smock.
Here.
Ritterbusch.
Here.
Westlake.
Here.
Zobrist.
Here.
Ryan.
Here.
Knapp. Here. Elam. Here. Farrell.
Here.
Keach.
We have a quorum tonight, is
Yes,
that
sir,
correct?
we do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
The next order of business is the approval of the minutes of the last meeting. The meeting was held on February 25th of 2013. The minutes were attached to the agenda. Does anybody have a question or comment or correction to the minutes of the last meeting? Hearing none, I'd ask for a motion that we approve the minutes of the February 25th meeting.
So moved.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second that we approve the minutes of the last meeting. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'd ask all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved as they were published. The mayor has asked that he have a few minutes to address the Plan Commission this evening, so would you please go ahead?
Thank you, Mr. Ritterbusch. I apologize for moving your agenda around, but as you all know, I only have about 6 weeks left in my term, and before I left the mayor's position, I wanted to be sure to thank all of you. Over the last 8 years, you have done unbelievable work. I sit there and I think of the mixed-use zoning and the downtown activities, some of the old-timers that I was on there with in the past, the sign ordinances, the planning that's required of all of you is what has made this community so great. Communities that don't do planning fail. It's as easy as that. And the quality of work that you have done is just second to none. And I just can't say enough for what you have done for this community. And I would just offer that I hope that you will do this, continue this great work into the future, because I don't want my property values to go down, and I'll be on a fixed income, and so you know how that goes. But anyway, thank you again so very much. It is appreciated. I think now that these have been placed on TV, I think people better understand what your roles are and the work that you do. And so I just totally felt that I had to come and thank you personally. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. The next order of business is our public hearing section of the meeting tonight. I'd ask that the attorney give us a brief introduction on how we conduct our public hearing portion of the meeting.
Thank you. Public hearings are being held tonight pursuant to published notice. Any person wishing to address the Plan Commission will be afforded an opportunity to do so. Any person addressing the Plan Commission will be sworn in by our court reporter and will give their testimony under oath or affirmation. At the conclusion of the public hearing, the Plan Commission will make a recommendation to the Village Board. The Plan Commission makes recommendations only.
Thank you. The first item under public hearing is petition number 13-03ZA. John Kaler is seeking a zoning amendment for 495 East Cortlandt Street from B3 to I2. Is there anyone here in the audience tonight that would like to speak to this petition? Yes. Would you go to the clerk, state your name, address, and be sworn in?
John Keeler, 307 Parkview Court, Roanoke, Illinois.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Okay, would you go to the podium so the microphone can... Would you like to give us a little brief explanation of your petition?
Yeah, thanks for having me tonight. The piece of property we're talking about is the 4.25 acres on the north end. And the surrounding properties to the north, east, and west are I-2. and I'm wishing to change that section of property from B3 to I2 for a future buyer. It's a business that's in your community. It'd be Parker Fabrication, and it's adjoining his property now, and that's the whole purpose of changing the zoning back to I2.
Okay, thank you. Do any of the Plan Commission members have any questions from the petitioner?
Yeah, I have a question. You know what the plans are for the use of that parcel?
I don't know specific details, no. Maybe it's just speculation of Parker saving for future expansion. I don't know. I don't think building is, I shouldn't speak for Matt probably. I don't think it's a building.
Any other questions from any of the other Plan Commission members? Okay. Well, thank you very much for your
Thank you.
presentation. Any further discussion, Plan Commission? If not, I'd ask for a motion to approve this petition.
So moved.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
I second.
Motion made and second that this petition be approved. Any further discussion? If not, I'd ask the clerk to call the roll.
Zobrist,
Yes.
Smock,
Yes.
Westlake,
Yes.
Ritterbusch,
Yes?
Ryan,
Yes.
Neb,
Yes.
Farrell,
Yes.
Elam. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. So now this will be presented to the village board at their next meeting for final action. The second petition tonight is number 13-04ZA. Village of Morton is seeking a zoning amendment for 300 West Cortlandt Street from I-2 to I-1. So is there anyone from the village that, or the public that wishes to speak to this? Yes. Zoning officer?
Yes, what we're looking to do, you can see the fire station right there where my cursor is. And the village acquired this property to the south. And our intent is to make that a part of the fire station property, but they're not zoned the same. So we need to have that zoning, as the petition states here, from I-2 to I-1 so we can join those two parcels together.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the Plan Commission members? Hearing none, I'd ask for a motion to approve this petition.
So moved.
Motion made, is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second that we approve this petition. I'd ask the clerk to call the roll.
Farrell,
Yes.
Neb,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Westlake,
Yes.
Zobrist,
Yes.
Smock,
Yes.
Ritterbusch,
Yes.
Elam. Yes, thank you.
The next item on the public hearing portion of the meeting tonight is a new item related to residential, commercial, mixed-use zoning classification for the downtown area. You've been provided in the material that was sent with the meeting notice a draft of some bullet points for a potential downtown district zoning. It would be a new chapter entitled 10. The purpose of the downtown district is to accommodate retail, service, and office uses, including mixed uses that enhance and promote the vitality of the downtown area. So under this, we would have permitted uses, a list of permitted uses, special uses, then mixed uses, residential, and special conditions. And then there would be a series of general requirements and building materials and street level transparency, et cetera. Now this is in a very preliminary draft. It needs a lot more work to it before it can be discussed in detail. And therefore, it's the view of the chairman and the zoning officer that what we would make the best progress on this is to have 3 of the Plan Commission members volunteer to form a subcommittee that they could work on this and try to add more material to this that would help give us a better perspective on what a downtown district zoning section would look like. So, before I move further, any of the Plan Commission members have some specific comments they would like to express tonight before we consider taking some action? Hearing none, would there be agreement that the Plan Commission establish a subcommittee of 3 members that could work on this in the interim between now and the next meeting? This would be, the meeting would have to be noticed, because if there's 3 of you together at a meeting, you have to have a 48-hour notice, is that correct, of the meeting? So if you volunteer for this, we'd have to plan the meeting date. It would have to be noticed to the public so that they are aware that we are having a meeting. If this would be appropriate, I'd ask that we have a motion to establish this subcommittee, and then after that, we can ask for 3 volunteers to serve on it. What's the feeling of the members? Anybody willing to make a motion?
Yeah, so moved.
Motion been made, is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second that we establish a subcommittee to undertake a review of the material and develop additional information that can be included into a downtown district zoning section. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Now, I'd like to ask if there are 3 people that would graciously volunteer to serve on this subcommittee.
I will.
Justin? Who else would be willing to serve on this?
I would be willing to serve, but the next month is, I couldn't commit to having something by next month's meeting.
Okay.
Because I have, the next 2 weeks are blocked, so,
Okay.
Keach isn't here, we should just tell him he's doing it.
yeah.
There you go.
Keach can do? Okay,
I volunteer Keach.
okay. Who else would be willing to serve on this? Anybody have some? And you can have, meetings can be morning, afternoon,
Or night,
Or
whatever
night.
we got to do.
whatever needs to be done, so it's up to Mr. Spangler to work out the location and things like that. You can probably meet at, the village
Yeah.
office?
I don't sleep much, so you just tell me when.
Okay. I'd like to have a third person really to give enough input into this.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt the process, but it occurs to me that Mr. Keach was engaged with some of the downtown development work.
Right.
And he was involved with some of the earlier work, I think, that this commission did on mixed use. Don't want to speak for him in his absence, but it might be worth contacting him and asking him if he'd like to be involved, because he would bring some continuity and some experience to it. I think historically, we've had 2 or 3 people on committees. It's not in every committee meeting is not necessarily critical that everybody be there, although that's optimal. But we would like to get this moving, because we've got a number of people who've got ideas about things to do downtown and elsewhere in Morton, where this really would be useful in helping facilitate and determining whether some of these things can or cannot be done.
Right. So anybody willing to add another meeting in the next few weeks to this?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. Okay, and we'll try, I guess, Mr. Spangler, can you contact Mr. Keach, see if he will be willing to serve on this too, to have the 3?
Sure.
Okay, so we have the 3 people that will form the subcommittee, and then you will have to work with them, I guess, and then find a mutually agreeable time to meet and do the proper public notice of this.
Once you get in touch with Jeff, let me know, and then I'll coordinate with the 3 of us so that we've got we can get this figured out, we'll get a schedule. I'll do it. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So therefore, this agenda item petition will be continue to the next meeting. So ask the clerk to make a note of that, so for the next meeting, this will be continued. The last item on the public hearing portion of tonight's meeting is a continued item from the last meeting, which is the pre-annexation agreement for Orchard Hills Section 8. You have material in the agenda for this. Is there anyone from the public that is here tonight that would like to speak to this agenda item? Yes. Would you, the clerk will swear you in, and then you can go to the podium and speak to it.
This is just a continuation of Orchard Hills subdivision, Section 8. Last year, we put in 7 lots, and this year, we're putting in 12. So it's just really extension of the same street.
Okay. Are there any questions by the Plan Commission of the petitioner? Hearing none, thank you for your presentation. I'd ask for a motion to approve this petition, the pre-annexation agreement for Orchard Hills Section 8.
Make a motion, we approve.
Motion made, is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second that we approve this pre-annexation agreement. Ask the clerk to call the roll.
Smock.
Yes.
Westlake.
Yes.
Zobers.
Yes.
Ritterbusch.
Yes.
Net.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Farrell.
Yes.
Elam. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. So this pre-annexation agreement will be presented to the village board at their next meeting. This concludes the public hearing section of tonight's meeting. We'll now move on to other business. The first item is also continued from the last meeting, and it is the preliminary plat for Orchard Hills Section 8. You have that in your material. Does any of the members have any questions on this plat? Hearing none, is there a motion that the Plan Commission approve this preliminary plat?
So moved. There you go.
Motion made, is there a second?
Second.
Second, motion made and second that this preliminary plat be approved. I'd ask the clerk to call the roll.
Elam.
Yes.
Net.
Yes.
Ritterbusch.
Yes?
Westlake.
Yes.
Smock.
Yes.
Zobers.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Farrell.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. This again will be presented to the village board at their next meeting. The next agenda item under other business is a preliminary plat for Wolf Crossing subdivision Phase 3. You have the material on this in your packet. Are there any questions from any of the Plan Commission members?
What's that? Any issues here, okay, on the drainage?
Okay, is there a motion to approve this preliminary plat?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion is made, is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second that we approve this preliminary plat for the Wolf Crossing subdivision Phase 3. Ask the clerk to call the roll.
Farrell.
Yes.
Elam.
Yes.
Net.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Ritterbusch.
Yes?
Smock.
Yes.
Westlake.
Yes.
Zobers.
Yes.
Thank you.
The next agenda item under other business is a combination of preliminary and final plats for the Kaler Sauter subdivision, Lot 5 of Prudential Cullinan Morton Industry North Quad subdivision. Is there any questions from the Plan Commission members on this material. No one have any questions regarding this preliminary final plat? I'd ask that there be a motion to approve the preliminary and final plats for the Kaler-Sauter subdivision, Lot 5.
So moved.
Motion made, is there a second?
These guys have to ask.
Second.
Motion made and second that the Plan Commission approve the preliminary and final plats for the Kaler-Sauter subdivision. Ask the clerk to call the roll.
Westlake,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Ritterbusch,
Yes.
Smock,
Yes.
Rhine,
Yes.
Neff. Yes. Farrell,
Yes.
Neal. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. This preliminary final plat has been approved, will be presented to the village board at their next meeting. That concludes the other business items under tonight's agenda. The next item is zoning officer Spangler. Do you have anything for us tonight?
No, sir, I don't.
Thank you. Next agenda item is trustee Newhouse. Do you have anything for us tonight?
Nothing further, thank you.
Thank you. That concludes the items under the agenda for tonight. The next order of business is a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion made. Is there a second to adjourn?
Second.
Motion made and second that we adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you for your participation tonight.